Yeah. Okay. Listen. I have to go. I'll call you back later. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Bye. Hi, sorry about that. Welcome. This is exciting. Welcome to our brand new version of, and the first edition of our new and hopefully improved. I don't know how you can improve on the last one, but anyway, the 411, fueled by Gales Gas Bars Limited. This is show number 1 from our brand new location. It's right there behind us. You'll see it in a minute. Fiddler's Poorhouse, right here on St. Paul Street, 149, by the way. Now, Fiddler's Poorhouse is one of those businesses that is not yet operating because we're stuck in, and I just stepped on my own feet. And it is one of those businesses that was, unfortunately not able to operate through COVID-19, and hopefully soon. We're talking about being stuck here in phase 1 of COVID. But I want to tell you about what's exciting about this is the location is just absolutely super. Gales Gas Bars Limited is our title sponsor of the 411. Also, my name's Sterry, by the way, and I'm going to be your host. Also, WeeStreem, powered by WeeStream, as our previous version was. Kevin Jack, the producer, executive producer, is the man mightily manning this camera behind us right now, and will tell us more about how we're going to participate as we go forward. Want to congratulate Nick from 411, Niagara 411, on the success of that website. And we're going to be piggybacking on Nick and his information, tell you more about that. Right there is our brand new location, Fiddler's Poorhouse. It's 149 St. Paul Street, and this is our inaugural edition of the 411, fueled by Gales Gas Bars Limited. And I'll try not to trip on my own feet again as we go in and get settled down. Okay, we have a nice set in here. It's hot, but it's nice. Okay, definitely going to be losing the jacket, and because it's like, wow, it's beautiful here, absolutely beautiful, and welcome. That's the view of Fiddler's Poorhouse from front to back, and want to also thank Dave Mukparian for allowing us to use his fabulous premises here. We have this lovely door open here, and we've got a nice shot down the street too. Kevin, maybe you can pop that up and give the folks a shot there. Okay, see, this is heading toward Geneva Street from where we are on St. Paul. And Kevin, have you managed to get some rest after the hours and hours and hours that it took you to set this up last night?
Yeah, 100% Lee, and very happy to be here at Fiddler's Poorhouse with the relaunch, the rebirth of Niagara 411. So this is going to be awesome. That's
what I was trying. That's the word I was trying to come up with when I was out stumbling on the sidewalk. And we have a brand new number, which is very cool, for you to get in touch with this program. The only thing missing here is you. These endeavors always are cooperative efforts, they're collective efforts, and as I mentioned before, we have a brand new title sponsor, and we want to thank them for coming on board. Jessica Friesen, CEO of Gales Gas Bars Limited, is our title sponsor. So Jessica, appreciate you taking a flyer with us, this brand new platform of communications in Niagara, and we'll be talking more about Gales as the show goes on as well. And again, always partnership. People are very, very lucky if they can do something all by themselves these days, and that usually isn't the case. Usually it's some sort of cooperative effort. We also mentioned Dave from Fiddler's Poorhouse here, who is letting us use this fabulous space. My business, Sterry Voice Services, is contributing to this as well. Kevin Jack's business, WeeStream, is powering this technology, and what a wonderful technology it is. And of course, we're using an awful lot of content and feedback from Niagara 411, so we thank Nick for that and all of his friends, if you will, and commenters, we would like to appeal to you to also participate in this program. And the reason that we are calling this the 411, is because it is an actual partnership with Niagara 411. We're not stealing content. We're not trying to have somebody else do the work for us. We are actually working with Nick to make this thing work. And this is what we're going to be doing throughout the program every week, as well as chatting with you, and we'll fill you in more on how you can do that. But for example, motor vehicle collision on King Street between Quarry Road and Bartlett Road in Beamsville. Emergency services are en route. Now that was earlier this morning. I can only assume that that accident is a non-thing at the moment. And now something over the weekend that, well, this happens a lot this time of year in Niagara at different places. St. Catharines Fire responded to the DeQ Falls area, the Morningstar Mill. If you're familiar with that, you can picture it. A possible high-angle rescue there. Will be digging into that a little bit more deeply as the show goes on. There was another rescue necessary over the weekend as well. It seems to happen a lot. Possible water rescue for a person that has fallen into the whirlpool. Now that's got to be scary. If you've ever, pardon the wiping of the eyes, I know that's not a good thing, but I have my, I have this handy dandy sanitizer, and it's a little warm here, so every now and then, you know, one of these. Anyway, rescues, and people weighed in a lot about this over the weekend, but in this case a fellow fell into the whirlpool, and that's a scary thing to have happen. If you've ever been anywhere near the whirlpool in Niagara, that is a scary spot to feel like you are out of control, especially if you're in the water. Apparently made it to a rock and was rescued by helicopter rescue, etc. And as we understand it, this person is now safely on dry land. But scary. And again, the debate goes on. If you read the comments when some of these things happen, and feel free to get in touch with us today and chat about this, because it's an issue that comes up every single summer here in Niagara, is the fact that there are so many people that sometimes through no fault of their own, but often because they are either taking risks they shouldn't take or are in places they shouldn't be, end up having to use the resources of our people here in Niagara and be rescued. And a lot of people think there should be fines and arrests and they should pay for the rescues, etc. And there's always this debate that happens. And I guess the big message for visitors and residents alike is stay in the safer spots. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go by in the next 90 minutes or so as well. A couple of demonstrations that have taken place in the area since we were with you last on the air, and that one of them was in Niagara Falls a while ago, and that was quite moving, apparently, for the people that were there. I did not attend that, but a lot of people said it was really quite well done, very peaceful and quite moving. And there was one just in St. Catharines over the weekend here as well. We were told that there is, right there was a heavy police presence, but there were no altercations that I am aware of. It was a peaceful demonstration. And of course, 2020 is going to be known probably for two main things, even though we've got about another 6 months to go before 2020 is over. That's COVID and George Floyd. And we have heard not the end, I'm sure, of either one of those topics. And hopefully we won't have anything as large as those two things to add to the topics that make 2020 what it is or was. By the time it's over, hopefully that stuff will be over. Another thing I wanted to mention is the fact that there is still, I believe, unless we've had an update, Kevin, I don't think I've seen one on Niagara 411 or from any of our law enforcement people, a 15-year-old boy by the name of Ashton Carter from Niagara Falls.
Yeah, I'll get that up here, Lee.
Yeah, okay. Went missing over the weekend. And again, we appeal to anyone that might have seen this young man or knows anything about his whereabouts or what has happened with him over the last couple of days. It would be just super if you could get in touch with us at the 411 or, of course, the Niagara Regional Police Service. 15-year-old Ashton Carter from Niagara Falls went missing over the weekend. So just keep that face in mind, and hopefully he's with his buddies somewhere. That would be great if that is the case. And so we'll, by all means, take any of your information that you want to pass along to us. And a number of really terrible car accidents, auto accidents over the weekend as well. There was.
Sorry, Lee, am I jumping around on you here?
No, yeah, just a little bit. I was trying to. There was a lady that was killed in an accident. I believe it was a motorcycle accident, Darlene, over the weekend, which again brought out all of the warnings for people that are around motorcycles, that you really got to. And there's Darlene, and a lot of people commented about missing her and the tragedy that was her loss. And people that do not ride motorcycles don't quite understand how vulnerable you can be. And it's not always the fact that the person that's on the motorcycle is the one that's causing the problem. It's tough to see them, so it's a good idea for motorists of four-wheel vehicles to just keep an extra eye out this time of year and make sure that we avoid things like that in the future. And it's always tough, and you always hear something about them this time of year as well. So on your screen, you see a number, and that number is 905-411-0411. And that's something else that's new since we did the last version of this program, is our ace producer and owner-operator of WeeStreem Niagara, Kevin Jack, just had this brainstorm and managed to talk to the right people, and there we are with this lovely number. And that is the number that gets you into our green room. We call it the Zoom Room Green Room. And if you would love to join the program or have anything to say about anything we're saying or something that's going on in your life in Niagara, or something that you know about of the items that we're chatting about here, all you have to do is dial that number, log into that number, 905-411-0411, and you will be in our waiting area. It's kind of like going to the doctor's office. You get into that spot and you sit there and say, we'll be right with you, and you can see everything that is going on in the office, except you're not actually on the air. You're not actually with the doctor. However, at a certain time, Kevin will say, okay, are we ready to go? And then we'll say, yeah, we're ready to go. And then the doctor will see you now, and in you come. It's kind of like that. Not that I'm any sort of doctor, heaven forbid, but...
No, absolutely, Lee, and we really encourage it because this is an interactive platform. If you're anywhere in Niagara, heck, if you're anywhere in the world and you've got something you want to share, if you want to say hi to Lee, if you love the program, if you want to give kudos to Nick over at Niagara 411, just hop in the Zoom room. It's 905-411-0411. There's also a link in the description of the post, so you'll see it there as well. Just click on that and hop on, and next thing you know, you're chatting live with Lee, and you're on the program, and that's what this is about.
And don't be shy. We're not going to put you on the spot in any way, shape, or form. So it's all a friend. You're at home here. It's all good. And again, especially if you participated or saw any of the things that happened over the weekend that we're talking about and had a close-up one-on-one experience with that, it would be interesting, or something that might be going on in your backyard right now that we have not yet found out about, either through Nick or other things. I do want to mention, before we continue. And also, we have a brand new service here. You can see that up in the corner of your screen. I think I'm pointing at it now. Yes, I are. Is your weather information. So you want to find out what the weather's going to be around Niagara. You have not got to tune away anyplace else. It's right there. And boy, do we have a great week. Look at this, couple of degrees warmer every day, right straight through Saturday. And if you're lucky enough to be sitting in the sun like me, you need one of these hats. Okay, so you got to have a hat. Kevin's got a funky hat on there. He's wearing the Gales cap there. Okay.
Yeah, repping Gales. Thanks so much to Jessica and the whole crew over at Gales for believing in WeeStream Niagara, believing in the power of Niagara 411, giving us the power to pull off the 411 with Lee Sterry, fueled by Gales gas bars. Thanks so much.
And they've got a great rewards program, and we figured that we might as well talk to you about this right now. And their great slogan, which is why it's such a wonderful fit for this program, is fueling Niagara for the next 50 years. And that is the rewards program, and there's so many benefits to being a member of that program. You get a % back on in-store and fuel purchases before HST. That 1% is converted into Gales rewards, and you can redeem them for dollars. It can be used at any Gales gas bar or Bob's Fast and Fresh Convenience. The details are right there in front of you. The program is simple. It's a card activation, and that happens when the first rewards are loaded on. More than one way to take part. So make sure that you ask any of the attendants or any of the clerks or servers at Gales or Bob's Fast and Fresh Convenience about the Gales Rewards program, because you know what? It's Niagara supporting Niagara. We call this, Kevin, for Niagara, by Niagara, in Niagara. Did
Absolutely.
I get that right?
Yeah, in any of those orders.
And Gales Gas Bars is in Niagara, by Niagara, for Niagara as well. They've been fueling Niagara for the next 50 years as well as the previous 50. So
absolutely. Now, Lee, I know there's some stories that you wanted to touch on going back prior to the weekend.
Yeah.
And Friday, traffic was being diverted just before the Garden City Skyway. I know that's something you wanted to touch on.
Indeed. There was, as always, a lot of conjecture and feedback online and elsewhere when something like this happens, especially when people don't really know what is going on. But the Garden City Skyway was closed at the Glendale cutoff area. As far as I know, there was a vehicle with no inhabitants on that on the Skyway, and there were many emergency vehicles and first responders down below, and there was a lot of conjecture that it was someone with some serious problems that had decided to do something unfortunate. And anytime that happens, it is amazing the number of different points of view that come out over social media. And I want to send out kudos to most of the commenters on that story, as well as Nick for being very, at Niagara 411, to be very quick to filter out some of the comments that can be hurtful to families and friends of people that are suffering from whatever they are suffering from, because we don't want to make a blanket statement about this. But and the highway opened in a little while. It doesn't take long for traffic to back up, but that really wasn't the issue. The issue is the fact that there are people that are hurting everywhere, but also here in Niagara. This is our focus. There are a lot of places to reach out to, and even if it's just a friend. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll be chatting with a couple of people, I hope, about this, because and I don't want to make any inferences here or draw any conclusions, but if someone is suffering from mental illness or depression, there are ways to deal with it and the first way is to talk about it if you can. So that's the big thing right now. And I know some friends of mine who I've interviewed and chatted with in the past that have become heroes of mine for the way they've handled their lives. That's all they say. Just tell somebody, a friend, a neighbor, a stranger. Just talk to somebody, and that's step number one. So, and I don't know what else I can add to that, unless the fact that you have something to add. And again, that's the number, 905-411-0411. That was quite a collision as well. Have a look at that vehicle. That in the Bigger and Montrose area in Niagara Falls. That does not look like fun at all. I'm not sure about injuries in that altercation or not.
I think everybody was okay. I think it was a single
I think so
driver.
too. I didn't hear about any serious injuries on that one, Kevin. One of the interesting things that has also popped up since we chatted last is the fact that there is a petition on change.org. That's kind of what they do on that site. There's a story right there. Some folks have started a change.org petition calling for the mayor of West Lincoln, his name is David Bilsma, to resign in light of some comments he made this past week. And considering all of the issues that we have been talking about since the Me Too movement, and then of course George Floyd was the catalyst or the straw that broke the camel's back, if you will, or whatever, considering how people are referred to and treated and et cetera, et cetera. And this comment was made about the LGBTQ community. And I'm paraphrasing here, this is not a direct quote, but it was to the effect that he wasn't sure what the LGBTQ community was still fighting for, because he figured they got what they wanted and all was cool and all was well, and not quite sure what the fight was all about. Well, that did not sit well with some people, and so this petition has been created and is up on change.org. 3,200 people have signed. Let's get to 5,000. I'm not quite sure what those numbers mean. I don't know what it means if you get to 5,000. I mean, it's not hit 5,000 and you get $200, don't pass go, or whatever it is. The mayor does not have to step down, but that's what they're looking for anyway. And I'm not sure how these. I've been getting emails and notices for these kinds of petitions all the time. I don't think I've signed. I might have signed one of them, and I don't even know which one it was. So that's how unimportant I thought it was, apparently. But that's just that's me. But I don't know how these petitions work after that. Kevin, do they have any sort of leverage at all, or is this just public awareness stuff? That's sort of how it hits me.
I don't think there's actually any real leverage, as in, if we get to 5,000 signatures, then he must step down.
Yeah.
But you know what? Some people will take to the streets and protest, and other people are a little more passive, and they enjoy just signing a petition.
Yeah.
And other people kind of just keep silent about their views. So it's a way for people to go online and say that they agree and they disagree with the mayor's comments, and they think that he should step down. And we'll see. They have a special council meeting set for tomorrow. The indication is we reached out to them to see if it was something they wanted to live stream. They say as of right now, their practice is to not live stream, but of course there is going to be great public interest. They will record it and then upload it after. Mm-hmm. Not sure. I'm assuming it's all virtual, so even if a reporter wanted to go and then get that information out, I imagine it won't come out until either the town of West Lincoln releases a press release or they issue their recording of their meeting.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Now, Lee, we're having just some static there. Do you want to take your pack and put it on the table? I'm going to come in and just make sure that our connections are.
I will do that.
Yeah, you can't hear it, but I can, and the people there know that when Lee moves there, there's.
Okay, we got a thing.
Yeah, just make sure that's plugged in right. All right.
How are we doing now?
Yeah. Okay. We'll see.
Okay. One thing else I forgot to do. So we have this pretty cool technology. If you would like to give us a shout, I would love to talk to you. And when I do talk to you, I need to put this thing in my ear. So we're going to do that, because I didn't do it before, because Kevin surprised me in the phone booth. So I'm
pulling your Superman intro. We'll call that the Superman intro, where we catch Lee in the phone booth. And, I mean, isn't it ironic to catch you talking on a payphone when we're about to do the most high-tech show there is going?
I know. And, well, or it could have been, I talked about Who, so maybe it's not Superman, maybe it's like Doctor Who. All right, I don't know.
Now, Lee is being sincere when we say we want to talk to you.
We do, yeah.
We'll bring up a lot of issues that occurred in Niagara over the weekend, last week, what have you. We'll discuss them, and at any point, if you have an opinion on it or maybe you have a connection to it, feel free to hop in the Zoom room at 905-411-0411. We'll throw you on live with Lee. It's that simple. It's in Niagara, for Niagara, by Niagara. We think the show, the 411 fueled by Gale's Gas Bars, works so much better with your involvement, because you're the people that can tell the stories. Absolutely.
And the other thing, too, is here we sit, as I mentioned when I was stumbling along the street, we are still sitting here in phase 1 of this COVID-19 operation of businesses. That means that places like Fiddler's Poorhouse is not able to operate its normal business. It's fine for us to be here. We are socially distancing. Dave's not serving customers food or beverages or anything of that nature. We are awaiting word in this region as to whether we are going to be entering phase 2 anytime soon. That in and of itself is not going to be the silver bullet. Here we are making another superhero reference. That in and of itself is not going to be a super bullet and all of a sudden everything's okay, because there are restrictions that come with that as well. Niagara region, of course, being one of those regions that was unable to move into phase 2 last week like other regions around the province. So the whole Golden Horseshoe, Niagara, Hamilton, the GTA, still sit here in phase 1. Have you been affected by this? What do you think about Niagara and its situation now? It seems to me, I've noticed a lot of people that are just, they're almost in denial. They're almost getting to the point where I'm suffering from isolation fatigue. We're okay. Nothing's really going to happen to me. Let's just get on with our lives. And there seems to be more and more and more of that attitude that I'm banging into on the street. People are still, some wearing masks, others not. One of the big points of conversation also was, hey, we're doing all of these demonstrations. So, and yes, the George Floyd issue was awful and deserves the attention that it's getting. However, it's getting attention in very, very large groups of people. And the experts are saying, did the disease just all of a sudden go away? I suppose when passions run high, certain things are tossed by the wayside. We have this sort of contradiction in terms happening right now with these large gatherings of people because they're passionate about a particular topic, and that's okay. But then again, are we headed for some sort of what they call second wave? Where are we with regard to COVID-19? Where are you with regard to COVID-19? And one of the things too, and again, this is the 411, fueled by Gale's Gas Bars, and there is financial support there for sure. It is the only sponsor that we have. It's a title sponsor of the program, and we approached them because of the Niagara positioning, as I mentioned before, of them and us. But we are not a traditional advertising medium. We are not a traditional medium at all. As Kevin was making reference to earlier, this is brand new for Niagara. Only you can make it work on a long-term basis. And all you have to do to make it work is click on that link at the bottom of the post on the Facebook feed and come on in and have a chat with us. If you own, where I was going with the whole advertising thing is, if you own a business and you want to talk about your business, you want to tell people that your business is back open, or it's not open yet but will be, or how we can deal with your business, or just tell us about it so that we still know that you're there and you're rocking and rolling in Niagara and getting ready to move into phase 2 or 3 or whatever happens. Please feel free. We're not going to tell you that you can't talk about your business. We will let you promote your operation. Is it a home business? You trying to work out of home and make things work? That's okay too. This is a brave new world, and it's a world that you are not familiar with, nor I, actually. I'm learning as we go with this thing as well. We all are. So take a flyer, join us, and be a pioneer if you feel like being a part of this new world that we're trying to create here.
Well said, Lee. Well said. You were touching on coronavirus there, so I figured, hey, you know what? Let's go take a look at some of the numbers.
Yeah.
So here are the numbers. These are June 14th, so that's yesterday morning, released by Niagara Health. So we've got 466 cases in total. That's throughout the duration of COVID.
Yeah.
Current number being treated is down to 6.
Yeah.
Now, the 40 deaths, trust me, each and every single one of those lives is very
there's valuable. A nice sound.
Maybe we'll give them the right of way.
I think we will.
We just pulled over to the right there, Lee. That's what we did.
Our first responders, the fire department, thank you for showing up on the program. We appreciate that. Yeah, that was the other point of contention when the announcement was made for the regions to move into phase 2 of reopening, if you will. And there was a comment that head of Niagara Health Systems was not consulted by the province. The province said that they had consulted all of the medical officers, the people that were head of the various regions in the province of Ontario. We learned that Niagara's was not. So it was a little bit of a sticky wicket, as they say, but hopefully not too much more time goes by, because we are headed for the very first official week of summer. Sure feels like summer already, but this weekend, summer actually, technically, officially, whatever word you want to use, begins. So hopefully by the time summer actually officially begins, we've got some more things for you to spend your time doing here in Niagara. Fingers crossed. And again, you don't want to do it and not be safe. You want to do it for the right reasons, and we get that. However, a lot of people's livelihoods, and not just the business owners either, there are a lot of folks that could sure use a chance to go back to work. And I did, you may have seen one of the earlier programs. I worked a little bit over the past couple of years with a winery in Niagara-on-the-Lake. And
which one, Lee?
See, I am so conditioned. I am so conditioned by traditional media to don't mention names without authorization. Culinary Estate Winery on Concession 6 in Niagara-on-the-Lake, the great big beautiful Italian villa-looking winery where I loved working with the family and doing wine tastings for the folks that came in, et cetera, et cetera. Well, all of the wineries, and we have scads of them in Niagara, from Grimsby, Beansville area all the way down through Niagara-on-the-Lake, and all over the place here, are in a state of flux as well. They're not really sure how to go about operating their businesses as far as the tastings are concerned. I would think that almost all of the wineries now are still open for sales, like curbside or pickup and delivery, or perhaps even in wine shop purchase, as culinary is as well. But the tasting world is a whole different sack of hammers. I mean, on a summer day like today, at most wineries in Niagara, it is crazy. It's a fun kind of crazy, but it's crazy. There's maybe 100 people in a small space. Everybody sort of like shoulder to shoulder, squeezing in to have a taste. And well, in this world, that just doesn't work. It just doesn't. And we may or may not ever get back to that style of waiting on customers again anywhere. So everybody has to rethink how they're going to be doing their business. And if you have something to offer on that, a comment on that as a consumer or as a provider, by all means, get in touch with us and share. That's really what this program is about. It's about sharing Niagara experiences, sharing Niagara information, be it fun, be it serious, or just be it entertainment in general. Feel free to share. If you have something, did you write a book? Did you take a cool trip somewhere in Niagara? Are you proud of your family member? How about a graduate? This is graduation season, is it not? How about saying congratulations to a list of your favorite grads, principals, deans of colleges and universities? You want to get on and say something to your faculty or your students. We have the platform and the venue for you to do that. So many things happening.
Lee, speaking of, we do have some people commenting. So this is from the Niagara 411 page, and there you go. How's that technology for you? Lee, meet Lee 25 seconds ago.
There we go.
So here are some of the comments, and I don't know, can you read those from where
Alexis Howard, this is awesome. Thank you, Alexis. Diana Robertson, wave. Hi. Dan O'Neill, Montreal. Good morning. Kathy Jennings. Hi, Kathy. How you doing? John Gatecliff. Hi. Good morning. I haven't been downtown St. Catharines in years. Once this COVID-19 clears and stores open, I will make a day trip down and see how much has changed from my younger days. Congratulations. Lucy, thank you. And those are wonderful. What you have the opportunity to do, and you may be a little shy because you're still dealing with a COVID haircut. I don't know, but that's okay. We all are. We're not going to go too far with that. But don't be shy. By all means, come on into the Zoom room, and we'll have a chat. Ray Ann says, I have a cleaning service. I am not working as of yet. Planning as of sometime in July. However, I'm not sure how many of my clients that I will be back. I am probably going to be back at less than half. It is what it is. This was out of my control, and hopefully when my clients get back to work, they'll call me back. But I will be wearing my mask while I work and helping out my clients who are in need. Thank you for that. While we're waiting to open business, our government representatives should be contacting American business and making deals to bring them to Canada. Bobby, thanks. Stay safely. I will do my best, Terry. Thank you for the comments. And again, we appreciate those. It's wonderful to have the comments on the line and to have the show acknowledged. And by all means, feel free to do it in person when you're comfortable. And we'll have a chat. There was one of the comments earlier, and it just I had one of those brain cramp moments that twigged on something I wanted to chat about, but it completely left my mind. So it'll come back. It's like walking into a room and forgetting why you went. How many times did you do that? And I don't think that's an age thing. People say it's because I'm getting old. I don't think that's really necessarily true. Almost everybody I know does this. For example, I was doing something super simple. I was going down into the lower level of my house. It's where we keep soft drinks, and because it's a little cooler. So I wanted to get a bottle of, I think it was club soda. So I go down to get a bottle of club soda to put it up in my refrigerator so it will get even colder. So on my way down, I take a couple of things that were laying around and I put them away. So I put those things away and I come back upstairs. What did I not have? The club soda. Like, what is wrong with us that we do things like that?
I do it all the time.
You went downstairs to do something, you did it, so then you come back up. But you didn't do the thing that you went there to do. I don't know. It's just, so if that happens to you, do not blame your age. I think it is demographic wide. All demographics do this.
I do it like on the daily.
Yeah.
On the daily. Just.
You know and this is a more serious aspect of what we were talking about a minute ago. This is also that time of year. Now, it's been kind of cool the last couple of days, or cooler, but we know we're headed for heat. I mean, we're going to look at the weather. We're going to be 30 degrees Friday and Saturday. Humidex will probably be up around 34, 35, and we know it gets hotter than that. One of the things that I've really never been able to figure out is how people forget kids that are in their car. Every single summer, we hear about these tragic things where a youngster is left in a vehicle until they are sick or worse, and oftentimes the person that was responsible said they forgot they were there. And that's just something that I can't imagine. Now, it was a long time since I had small children. Mine are grown, but I do remember having them, and I do remember them being in the car, and I can never remember an occasion where I got out of the car and left them in, one of them in a chair in the back seat, and forgot they were there. Now, Kevin, you've got young children.
I do, 5 and a 6-year-old. And you know what? I mean, when I hear the stories, I wonder the same things. How could it possibly happen? And yet, when you've got children, like you said, you go downstairs with the objective of getting the club soda, and you end up doing 3 other things. So I totally understand. And in each of the cases, it's tragic. It's tragic for the family.
Yeah.
And here it is. Like I just Googled it, and over the weekend, Oklahoma father arrested after 2 children die in a hot vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. Child hot car deaths are decreasing to record lows amid COVID-19.
Well, if there's any silver lining to a cloud, I suppose that's one of them.
There's a man in custody after allegedly dangling a child outside a window. Hadn't heard that one. But yeah, it's you know what? They're tragic stories, and every single time, Lee, I don't think you're the only one that's left wondering, how does that happen? I don't know.
Any normal person, what's normal? Any human being, I think, would probably ask themselves that question: how does that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. Other than, you know what? I know that it's never with malcontent, and it's always tragic for the families involved. That I couldn't imagine how you could go on as a parent, how you could live with yourself day after day after day.
Yeah.
If that tragedy had struck you. So
yeah, no question.
It's brutal, but it continues to happen. Hey. You ever have a guy walk by and you have the exact same shirt? Not on, but you have the exact same shirt? Anybody wonder what my wardrobe looks like, that guy that just walked by? I got that one.
This is summer in honor of the first official weekend of summer coming up. This is my Hawaiian shirt. This is from Hawaii, actually. This shirt was purchased not very far away from where Barack Obama was born, in Honolulu. I don't have any proof of his birth, and that's really not. I do have proof of the shirt's birth.
You're going down this road now, really?
I have proof of the shirt's birth. You are, by the way, watching the 411. Fueled by Gales Gas Bars Limited, powered by WeeStream, hosted by Sterry Voice Services. That's actually a business, and it's an okay business. I wouldn't be begging for pennies working for Kevin if it was really doing great, but we're.
What is Sterry Voice Services, and what services do you provide?
Oh my gosh, it's basically a voiceover business. We voice radio commercials, television commercials. I'm reading historical novels for a company in the United States right now, so audio books, movie trailers, video games, telephone online recordings, anything that needs a voice.
Okay. And people can get in touch with you, of course, through WeeStream Niagara.
Yeah.
If anybody at any point wants to get in touch with WeeStream Niagara, here, I'll bring myself back on the screen.
Yeah, do that.
It's so easy to do so. You can leave a comment. You can send WeeStream Niagara a message right on Facebook, and it comes right into us, the guys at WeeStream that are powering this whole thing, the 411, fueled by Gales Gas Bar, and we get back to each and every one of you. If you got a show idea, you got a comment, or just want to throw something our way. Now, speaking of the 411, Lee, I think I think we should probably spend a little more time on the missing boy in Niagara Falls.
Yeah, let's do that.
Can't help but feel for the family. Hasn't been seen since Wednesday.
Yes. Ashton Carter left his residence in the area of Scott Street and Shirley Avenue in the city of Niagara Falls this past Wednesday the 10th at approximately 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Ashton had contact with his family at that time. He is believed to have left his home on foot. Efforts by the family and the police to locate Ashton have been unsuccessful. Ashton's family and the police are concerned for his welfare and are requesting the public's assistance in locating him. Ashton's white male, teenager, 15 years old, thin of build, long black hair with bangs, weighs 110 to 120 pounds, black eyes, and wearing a peach muscle shirt and dark shorts with white running shoes when he was last seen. If you have any information on him, please call the Niagara Regional Police Service at 905-688-4111. There's Ashton Carter right there.
I mean, Lee, you're a parent and a grandparent. I couldn't imagine. Talk about sleepless nights.
Yes, and if you're a friend of Ashton's or a school chum, or people aren't in school around Niagara right now, but a former school chum or somebody that knows him, and if you know anything, I know a lot of times people are reluctant to come forward in situations for various reasons that don't matter to us. But if there's anything that you know that can help out, let the police or the parents know, because to go to Kevin's point, there's nothing worse than not knowing where your children are, and there's no way you can fix that. It just is what it is. So Ashton Carter.
Last Wednesday, Lee. That's a long time. I think when we read of teenagers that have gone missing day one or day two, we think, okay, they've run away. It's teenage angst. We've all been through it before. But now we're into day 5, day 6, and this is serious, legitimate concern.
Indeed. So again, if you know anything, comments on the website, or comments on the Facebook page, excuse me, are totally fine. But if you have some information you'd like to share on this platform, a click on that link on the post would be even better, so that we could have a chat and use this technology to its max. Another thing, Kevin, you had some personal experience with being down in the DeCube Falls area by Morningstar Mill. I've been out there, but I have actually never gone down in the hiking area. And there was an issue over the weekend, and a rescue required in the Morningstar Mill area of DeCube Falls. And am I right in saying that there used to be, or there is, some sort of a rope thing
I haven't been there in a couple of years, but it always seemed as though it was just installed by a hiker. And there was a rope, and it would have various knots, and you needed it. You relied on it because it's just a sheer cliff there at moments when you're trying to scale up and down. Once you get down in there, though, it is beautiful. Mm-hmm. So we can't blame people for wanting to get down there. I've walked right in behind the whole waterfall. It's a very unique experience. I've splashed around in the waves. The water at that point is only, a foot, couple of feet deep. There's another lower waterfall. It's a beautiful place. So it's a very
attractive place to go.
Very attractive, yet also very dangerous. I knew a girl who once went down there for a hike, fell, had to get airlifted out. She broke her leg in multiple places.
Wow.
She was just about to start her year at Brock University, be a member of the soccer team, and within a day or two, her parents were down, and she packed up and moved back home to Kingston and lost an entire year.
And it's, again, always debatable as to, you're using our rescue resources again, etc. But that's why the rescue resources are there.
We know, but every weekend, though, Lee.
I know, and and it might not be the fact that people are actually going where they're not allowed to go. It just might be that they're not prepared properly. preparation. I was talking to some people, or I saw something online. There's information from so many different areas, you forget where it comes from. However, it was like somebody went down there in a tank top and shorts and flip-flops into the gorge. Now, the Niagara Gorge really shouldn't be a place you go wearing flip-flops, I wouldn't think. I mean, I've been down in places in the gorge, and I don't think I'd feel comfortable wearing. I don't feel comfortable wearing flip-flops anyway, but definitely not down there. So, even if you're going to places that you're allowed to go, be prepared properly to go there.
Now, Lee, I'm trying to find the story from the Niagara Gorge. That was somewhat dynamic. I know Nick was playing it out in the comments, and there was somebody clinging to a rock at some point.
Yeah.
And I'll see if I can pull that up, because it was just, you were kind of gripped to your phone as it was playing out, and you were getting these updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go, right here.
Niagara Falls Fire Department and Parks Police on the scene of a possible water rescue for a person that's fallen into the whirlpool. That's frightening, and is now on a rock, helicopter on standby, right near the wooden stairs at 3850 Niagara. Confirmed. Person clinging to a rock. Per Parks Police, this was a female that was rescued by crews. Fire crews working now to try and reach the victim with a ladder, etc. And then victim safely rescued by fire crews, now safely on shore. One of the comments I saw as well, and I think it was on this feed, and this gentleman made a good point. Said people that aren't familiar with the area, aren't familiar with the river, see fishermen down there and hip waders, etc., in spots, fishing, and take it for granted that they can go for a dip or go for a swim, and then they get caught in a spot where they shouldn't be, and then they get into trouble. So, again, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, so make sure that you know what you're doing.
Maybe this was the comment here.
There you go, right there.
From Shara Lee.
There you go. Thank you, Shara Lee. You were the comment I remembered. There needs to be more signage down at the water. The small white sign at the top is hardly ever adhered to. Too many folks from out of town come to explore and see fishermen and hip waders waist deep and think it's safe to go in for a swim. They don't realize how deadly that water is. Niagara Parks needs to put a sign right at the bottom near the helipad landing. Okay, so obviously a local to the area with some constructive criticisms or observations.
So the question would be there, Lee, in both cases, with DeQ and also we see along the gorge, do we make it safer or do we block it off?
Well, every time you think about blocking something off, I think about detracting that experience from, say, future generations. It sounds kind of corny, but I do honestly believe the fact that we're trying to protect people against themselves by taking things away, and I don't ever think taking things away is a good idea. Education, again, here we go. Education is the best defense against tragedy or bad things happening. Now, there is one reason, I suppose, and I was just hearkening back to Chichen Itza in Mexico, where they have that lovely the pyramid and the village of Chichen Itza, and the biggest pyramid that is there. I climbed the pyramid, walked up the steps. I was terrified when I got to the top, absolutely terrified to come down because it looks so imposing. But that's an aside. The point being that over a couple of years after I went up the thing, they closed it to the public. You could look at it. There it is. You could look at it, but you could not climb it. Now, in this case, it wasn't the fact that they were trying to protect people from themselves like it would be in the gorge or at DeQ Falls. It was because they were trying to protect the monument. They were trying to protect the surface of the pyramid itself. So in a situation like that, perhaps some sort of protection is required. But when it comes to just trying to protect people against themselves, trying to stop stupidity, or accidents. I don't know. I think maybe you just have to have the Shara Leith talked about the signage. Maybe there's better signage or better monitoring of what kind of equipment you go into these places with. Are you wearing proper footwear? Do you have enough water with you in case you get trapped somewhere? You know, these kinds of things, so that you don't just go willy-nilly into a spot and get yourself into trouble. But then again, you talk about expanding resources and spending more money to police and monitor these things. So
you have to think, Lee, that the members of the High Angle Rescue Team, if it's a warm, sunny day, Saturday or Sunday, they're waiting by their beepers.
Pretty much.
It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. They probably don't want to plan anything on a Saturday afternoon because they know at 2, 3, 4 p.m. They're going to get called to either the Niagara Gorge or out to Morningstar Mill.
And there's another organization as well that I've talked to numerous times in the past, is the Grimsby Auxiliary Boat Rescue group as well. They're all volunteers, and they are on the lakes, Lake Ontario mainly because of its location, but often, and you don't hear about the number of rescues. There's hundreds and hundreds of boats that and boaters that are assisted every single boating season on Lake Ontario by so many different groups. Something else that happened that reminded me, thinking about Lake Ontario, Port Dalhousie popped into my head, and we now have officially the Neil Peart Pavilion since the last time we chatted. Neil Peart, of course, the local lad who became famous as the drummer for Rush, has the Pavilion named after him. So that was kind of cool. That just happened over the last couple of weeks. So kudos to the people that did that, and to all the fans and friends of Neil Peart. Congratulations. That's awesome. Again, I do want to mention, you'll see the logos all over the screen in front of you. Of course, this is called the 411. It is fueled by Gale's gas bars. We are on WeeStream Niagara, that's our biz, and powered by Kevin Jack's biz, which is WeeStream, and they do stream many, many things around Niagara and beyond. And Kevin, one of the things that you did an awful lot of with your with the WeeStream group was sporting events and tournaments and minor leagues and recreational leagues and things of that nature. That has to have been a piece of your business that's dried up considerably.
In a day, more than 50% of our revenue was taken from us from COVID-19. A lot of people approach me and would think, hey, you're in the live streaming business, so COVID-19 must be great. Like, not great, but your business must be thriving. And that's not our reality. I've got 2 children at home, a 5 and 6-year-old. That's a handful. My wife is working full time. Now our company is in a position where we have to drum up new business. Mm-hmm. And that takes a lot of time. It's a lot of phone calls. It's a lot of building relationships. Sports doesn't look like it's coming back on the horizon in the near future. That was
when it does.
Yeah, when it does. Well, when it does, live streaming is going to become more and more prevalent.
Yeah.
When you talk the minor sports level, you talk about minor hockey. I've seen it suggested that when minor hockey does return, that in the arena there will be no spectators. It will be limited to, I think, 50 people is the number I heard. Mm-hmm. Now, don't quote me on this, as they're not official sources, but if you add up the coaches, the players, the trainers, 25 for each team, now there's nobody in the stands. So parents are left on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
So streaming might become more and more important. But you're right. I mean, my business lost 50% of our annual revenue in a heartbeat.
Phenomenal. So again, this is there's a story that you would never think about, and the number of people that affects as time goes by. And talking about sports, the major leagues are just scrambling. And once again, now I know this is not Niagara exclusive necessarily, but first of all, let me back up. A friend of mine said, I love COVID-19. I love it because the Leafs are actually playing hockey in June. So whether that's good or bad, I don't know.
Are you going to be interested, Lee? Like when it comes back, or will you be lined up on the couch?
No.
I don't think I will either.
And Major League, this is where I was going for it. Major League Baseball, I think, is messing up again because they're in this players-owners dispute, and it's just leaving the fans out. So the last time they did that, there was a strike, and so many people just gave up paying attention to baseball. Anyway, we got off track a little bit, which is okay because we can do what we want to do. As far as the program is concerned, you'll see that number also. We were talking about the logos along the side of your page there. The 411, that is us. The host, that is me. WeeStream Niagara, that is all of us as well at the top. Underneath me is that Zoom room number. Now keep in mind that when we do chat, it is not a Zoom conversation. We're just sitting you in the Zoom room that we use like a green room, before we go on the air type waiting area. But to get there, click on the link on your post that you're watching, and you'll be there. Or if you have a Zoom app, just do that number, 905-411-0411. Pretty easy to remember. And as we move down the page, we see Gales fueling Niagara. And Gales Gas Bars Limited is fueling this program, the 411. And we're hoping it grows into something that is vital to, or at least a vital part of communication and information, entertainment and input and opinion in Niagara media, because there's nothing like it. And if you want to find out more about Gales Rewards, you can go online, or you can just read this right there. You can go to www.gales.ca for all of the details on the rewards program. You get 1% back on in-store and fuel purchases before HST. That 1% is converted into Gales Rewards, can be redeemed for dollars off future purchases, and you can use it at any of the Gales Gas Bar locations or the Bob's Fast and Fresh convenience stores. And read all the details again at gales.ca. Okay, so we thank Jessica Friesen, CEO, and Gales Gas Bars for coming on and taking a flyer along with all of us who are taking a flyer on this program. And we did, what, Kevin? When we were in the other location down the street at SAS Fitness, we did, 4 or 5 shows?
Together, we did about 4 or 5 shows.
Yeah.
Had some pretty good traction.
Yeah.
Lots of interaction. I know this time of the day and this audience may not be used to just picking up their cell phone and hopping on a live stream with somebody else, but we encourage you to do it. This show is in Niagara, by Niagara, and for Niagara, and you tell the best stories. It's one of the reasons why we teamed up with Niagara 411. There's a story, but then there's you, and we're all in Niagara, and your story, your perspective is quite often the one that is the most compelling. Here's the media release, but here's the story.
Yep.
And it's the story that we're after, and all of us have a story to tell. You were talking, we know that there's a family with sleepless nights right now because the 15-year-old boy, Ashton Carter, has been missing since last Wednesday. If you know the family, if you have a connection to Ashton, hop on the program and tell us a little more. Tell us what he was like. These are the things we don't know, what he is like. Sorry, I apologize. What he's like. And, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, it's really something we have become accustomed over the years, and now we're quite comfortable with commenting. Some people shouldn't, actually, but we have become quite comfortable with commenting on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever platform is your platform of choice. This is basically a Facebook comment feature with pictures. Think of it that way. If you have an opinion, if you have a point of view, if you have information, if you can provide clarity, that's what we are here for. And it is live and it is interactive. It's not old, regurgitated, edited editorial content. It is what it is. What you're seeing is happening right now. Lucy Berry comments, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. People are very comfortable commenting in the comment section of Facebook, and Lucy is no different. DeQ is safe if you stay on the paths. We have seen young hikers try to scale down the deep, steep sides to the water hole. Very scary and dangerous. If I am not mistaken, you can get to the water hole from the bridge at Laura's Crossing at the point where Laura's Seacord crossed 12 Mile Creek. Well, there's somebody that knows what they're talking about by the sounds of it. Thank you very much for that comment. There are ways to get where you want to go without taking your life in your hands, really. Which I know for some people of tender age, that's part of the thrill, is taking your life in your hands. But sometimes it doesn't work out the way you had planned. But that's great advice. Another one is research where you're going before you go there. Like, what is the Niagara Gorge? What is the whirlpool? Why is it there, and what's happening there? My son was visiting. We're all from this area, but he currently lives out in British Columbia. We'd never done one of the jet boat things that runs out of Niagara on the Lake and goes actually down almost to the whirlpool. And so we did. We played tourists, which is great. And that's something that you can do in this whole COVID thing, and hopefully even more so over the next week or so as things open up even more. But coming back to the story, we took this very first time ever jet boat ride from Niagara on the Lake, and it was fascinating. I had never been, I'd been around the Niagara River my whole life, but never been that close, up close and personal with the actual whirlpool. And it's one thing to do one of the cruises like up to the falls, and that's very cool. But being around the violence and the activity of the currents and the water in that whirlpool are fascinating and scary at the same time. So know where you're going before you go there, and go with somebody that knows what they're doing would be a good thing. We'll probably have more of them. We could talk about this till we are sunburnt in the face, and still, it's going to continue to happen on and off.
Just a second here, Lee. I'm working on pulling up video here of the jet boats. So I've never been on it myself, and of course, on YouTube, there's a lot of people that document what they do. Yeah,
you're going to get wet. Okay. So if you do, and they warn you about this, but if you are going to go on the jet boat, you will get wet. There's no doubt about it.
I'll throw it up for you.
Okay. There we go.
So this is probably similar to your experience. I've never been.
Yep, this is the training. This is the orientation right there. And then you get your life jacket, and you're tucked in there, and you're just all so nice and comfy and dry and warm, and everything's wonderful. And then off you go.
Looks so calm there.
Oh, yeah. And then splash. That's great fun, though. Great fun. And sometimes we were kind of sitting in the middle. See where those two girls are in the middle? We were sitting in that general area, and I thought, darn, I wanted to be along the outside. Well, it doesn't matter whether you're in the middle or the outside or the front or the back. You get the same thrill. It's the same cool ride.
You can see the Rainbow Bridge there, right in the background.
Yeah.
A friend of mine from Niagara on the Lake, his son worked at Niagara Jet Boats and ascended to the point that he got to drive the boats. And I thought, wow, how cool of a job is that?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Well, what's that? We got traveling caravan or something outside?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you never know what's going to happen. Brand new broadcast location, Fiddler's Poorhouse, right on St. Paul Street in St. Catharines.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to say what a wonderful location this is, because we have this wonderful opening. I don't know what used to be behind this garage door. What was this building? Where did the garage door come from? We've got to talk to David.
Yeah, we'll check in with David. Here you go. There's the outside. There's St. Paul Street, a live shot.
Fiddler's poorhouse. Poorhouse. I'm in the poorhouse. This is the poorhouse. Yeah. Very cool. And we await the news that will bring the general public in here and other places up and down the St. Paul Street and other places in St. Catharines and Niagara Falls, Welland, Port Colborne, all over the peninsula. And I think that's where I was, just remember I said a little while ago I forgot what I was going to talk about? That one person that commented on the program and where we were doing the show from, that they hadn't been down to downtown St. Catharines for about 20 years, and after the COVID-19 thing quits, they're going to come downtown. And this probably goes for a lot of areas in Niagara as well, not just the city of St. Catharines. But the proof, that old line, build it and they will come, always comes back to me, because we lived outside Niagara for quite a number of years, and then we returned. Since then, the Meridian Center opened, the Performing Arts Center opened, the Brock campus for the arts opened down the street near the Arts Center as well, and the explosion of new businesses, restaurants in particular, restaurants and social interaction type businesses in the city has it's really improved the downtown core of the city. Now, like with any downtown core in any city, there's always something to do. There's always a ways to go, but there are people said, I don't bother going downtown. It's I don't like it down there, and then they say, well, I haven't been there in a while. Well, that's probably you're dealing with old information. And that can go for any city that you're living in, Niagara or anywhere else. Downtowns ebb and flow, and this one, thanks to businesses like Fiddler's Poorhouse, has really come a long way over the years, and that's why one of the reasons why we can't wait to have this COVID-19 thing over and done with safely, that is. But nevertheless, it will be wonderful when we can start gathering again and support the people that have put a lot of time and effort and money and dreams into their businesses like this that depend on people like you to keep them healthy and keep them afloat. So that was one of the things that I wanted to mention, the people that have invested in the downtown core since some of these major investments and developments have taken place have really changed the dynamic to a great degree in the area. Also, again, there's our host, Dave Mukparian. Dave, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Can we hear him?
Can you hear me?
Do I have my ear in? Unfortunately, I don't have. You can yell at me.
Can you hear me now?
You can yell at
I
me.
can yell at you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dave, how long have you been here?
So I've been here 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah, and you were mentioning
Speak into the microphone, man. Just talk louder.
you were mentioning the garage door where
Yeah.
it came from, right?
Yeah.
This building actually used to be the original department store of St. Catharines before the Penn Center opened.
Okay.
The 3 different buildings in a row were a huge retail department store.
So this would have been like a loading area or something like
Something like that, yeah,
Yeah.
back in the day.
that. Very cool.
So, yeah, I've been here 7 years. Pretty much when the Meridian Center was building, I purchased the building and knew the vision of downtown, and took a little gamble on this being a great location, and it's worked out well.
Now, so I know a lot of people, when they were building the Meridian Center, downtown locations for arenas and things like that get a lot of heat often from people saying, oh, what a crappy location, I got to pay for parking and no. But in actual fact, you're a fine example of the fact that it's been a great location for you.
Oh, for sure, it's been a great location with the Ice Dogs and all the concerts, and just everyone downtown buying up the properties, fixing them all up. You know, I think with all the small business owners downtown, it's been it's taken time, right? Over 5 years to really build it up, but the last couple of years, it's just really been booming downtown. And the parking, you know, you'll go to Toronto and pay $20, but
20.
it's only $5.
Event parking is more like 40, 50.
Yeah, you're probably right. So,
Yeah.
you know, people just got to get used to it's $5 to park downtown, and it's well worth coming downtown to support everyone.
And of course, you had to close your doors when all this silliness happened.
Yeah, we on March the 16th, right, the day before St. Paddy's Day, which is a really big day for us.
Yeah.
We had, obviously the week before you've built in all that inventory, and you're getting ready for a big celebration, and then the news came down that we had to close. So it really, I think, hurt a lot of people, right? And now it's been almost 3 months, I guess. So we're hoping this afternoon there'll be an announcement that maybe Niagara will be able to open up again. So,
I mean, not meaning to get too personal, but how do you hang on for that kind of time? I mean, this is not a business that's high profit margin.
No. No. I'm lucky I purchased the building, so I'm not handcuffed by a landlord, right?
Okay.
So, it's a small mortgage payment versus a huge rent that some of the other businesses downtown will have to pay. Mm-hmm. Fiddler's Poorhouse, we were lucky because we get a lunch crowd, a dinner crowd, and then we do have a pretty good night crowd. So I've had, almost 3 different businesses in one. Where the food during the day and at lunch, and then obviously with the concerts and ice dogs. And then later on at night when all the Brock and Niagara College kids come out, it's helped me diversify that way. But it's still a struggle, right? It's very struggle. It's a zero cash flow coming in right now.
Have you heard any information as to when the opening of the business can move forward? Like, how far forward can you go, what you're going to have to do, or what your restrictions are?
Right now, actually, I heard on the radio this morning that the mayor said they might be closing down St. Paul Street, at least to one-way traffic. So I'm hoping that'll give us a little bit of room to extend out, because obviously we don't have enough patio footage to open up a patio outside. So we're going to do all the social distancing that's required by the health board. So I think we're just going to take it week by week and see what happens and how we can adjust to the new norm.
How long will it take you to get ramped back up to hit the ground running?
So we're working on Wednesday to open for takeout. Obviously, last week we brought the chefs in. We did some a menu shoot. So we had a photographer come in, shoot all our food items, so we could go online. I'm really trying to adjust. I'm not used to doing online ordering, so that's the way of the future. So we've created that on our website, reduced our menu just to make sure we can handle the volume, and then we'll slowly ramp it up once we'll see how it goes after the first couple of weeks.
Did you say one of the options was making St. Paul Street one way?
Apparently that's what...
After all these years of wanting it to go two-way, we're going back.
So I just heard that about an hour ago, so who knows, right? The city had actually contacted me a couple of weeks ago to ask small business owners what you think would work downtown. They were thinking of closing the whole street, but...
What's old is new again.
Oh, I know. So...
Wow.
We'll see.
Anyway, we appreciate you being our benevolent hosts here and giving us this wonderful spot in your window, and hope everything gets ramped up for you soon, Dave.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And to Fiddler's Poorhouse, the new location of the 411 fueled by Gales Gas Bars Limited. And thank you to Jessica Friesen for taking the plunge to do that with us. To WeeStreem Niagara, Kevin, the producer and the owner of that organization, provides the technology. I'm the talking head here, Lee Sterry, and we're happy to do this and really looking forward to doing things. When Dave said there a moment ago, just getting used to taking orders online, because it's the new world order, or it's the new thing, and or it's the future. I think that's exactly what he said. It's the future. Well, here we are. We are the future of television in Niagara, if you want to put it that way, because it is A, live, B, video and audio, so that's where the TV thing comes in, but C, interactive, and that part is you. And I know it's going to take people a little while to get used to that concept, so we're very, very patient. But every now and then, instead of typing the comment, think, oh, hey, why don't I just click on this link and have a conversation, and we'll talk about it. We'll pass along an opinion. And everybody has an opinion or a perspective, or as Kevin talked about earlier, a story. And it's the stories that move people. It's the stories that move society. Look what's happened over the last number of weeks, and both good and bad, and there's been a lot of negative stuff as well. But stories move nations. Stories, and not to put too fine a point on it or to sound too corny, it is very, very true. One man's story, whether his background is something else or something not, or not what it seems. I mean, there's all kinds of stories about who George Floyd really was. The point is, his story has moved millions, and on a much smaller scale. Your stories are important to us here in Niagara, because this is one of a kind. This has never been done before, and it takes people a little while to get used to it, to get the hang of it, and to feel as comfortable with coming on and having this discussion as you feel comfortable now making a comment on Facebook. And we're willing to hold your hand and be patient along with you. Okay.
So, Lee. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Turn my mic on.
Okay.
So moving forward, we're going to be doing a weekly show as of this point. So we'll be back a week from today. Sorry to surprise you and throw that on you, but it turns out that people like the show so much that we'll be back at least for a second week, and we'll see where we go from there. I think we're at least, we're trying to get through all of summer, all of this COVID, and who knows where this platform is going to go, this platform of WeeStreem Niagara. But I do know that if you're out there and you're interested, if you like the platform, and of course, if you're a business and you want to capitalize on this, at any point you can come in via the Zoom room and be a guest and tell us about you. But if you want to throw your support behind WeeStreem Niagara, get in touch with us, because we can talk about expanding our programming and doing more programs live from Fiddler's Poorhouse in Niagara, by Niagara, for Niagara. So we're open to any and all ideas.
A couple of weeks ago, when we were doing this program from the other location, a gentleman came on the air. He's doing a little bit of what I do for a living. He's narrating a book, but he's narrating a book written by a local Niagara person about Niagara, and wanted to promote that, and thought that was just way cool. And we've kept in touch a little bit after that. And so again, just one of the things that come out of people interacting with other people. And because right now we're not able to interact as much as we would like, it's expanded to a few that you can have under your bubble now, as they say. But and we'll open up even more. However, this is truly a great region-wide tool to be able to use. And yes, we are coming to you from St. Paul Street in St. Catharines. However, be you in Wainfleet, Fort Erie, Niagara Falls, Welland, Port Colborne, Niagara-on-the-Lake, Grimsby, Beamsville, wherever. This is Pelham. This is your show. It's not St. Catherine's show. It's not our show. It is your show. We just happen to be the conduit, and geographically, this is a location that is convenient for us to use because we happen to live in the area. So, expediency is sometimes a bonus. But it is Niagara equal, which is one of the main reasons that we wanted to piggyback with Niagara 411, because Nick does such a fabulous job of keeping all Niagarans in the loop, so to speak, with what's going on. So that's why we wanted to piggyback with Nick, and perhaps we can enhance each other's products and information and news sources as time goes by. So we want to thank Nick for allowing us to piggyback with him, and congratulate Niagara 411 on all their great work. So this is the 411, and it is fueled by Gales Gas Bars Limited, as you heard us say before. and I can't speak enough about how important that is for us. Our inaugural title sponsor, and we hope it's a long relationship. It is our intention that it is, and we hope it's a long relationship with you as well. So we appreciate you being here on show number 1 of the new, well, I don't know if I want to call it a reboot, but the resurgence. We're off hiatus. Let's put it that way. The 411 went on, as the TV networks call it, hiatus for a little while. Well, the hiatus is now over.
Now,
and we're back.
Lee, sorry to interrupt here, but did you see that?
Okay.
You see that? I'm going to go, you know what, I'm going to bring the camera out there.
Yeah.
That seems like a very niche business. The piano guy, moving, tuning, and repairs. Like, is he about to move a piano out of the window from St. Paul?
It can be done.
Here, hold on a second here. Let's
It can be.
let's see if we can go for a little walk.
Okay.
Oh, I think they're coming here.
Oh, you coming in here?
Piano?
Oh no, they're going down the street. Thought they were coming in. Maybe they thought they could get a beer.
Here, Lee, sorry, apologies there. Kind of left you on the lurch. But,
That's okay.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, this is live, right? Let's go take a look at this guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, here we are. Let's go for a walk.
Okay. So the truck across the street says piano moving. The piano guy, that's Kevin, with his mobile camera. And, okay, so, and the two guys that were looking after this trailer just walked down the street, and it looks like they're going to be moving a piano from somewhere, or moving a piano into somewhere. I'm not sure what they're doing, but are they coming back yet? Hello.
You are, Lee.
Hello.
Hey.
Okay. So
Here you go, Lee.
come down and wave to us if you want. When we're on, we're going to be here again next Monday, 10 a.m. till 11:30. It's just about sign off time now, and we may have a brand new umbrella to put right about here. So that sun, I'm going to probably go home. Let's put it this way. My dermatologist is not going to be happy with me for sitting in the sun. Actually, it's beautiful here. Absolutely beautiful. There's a nice little breeze. The sun is nice and warm, and really, it didn't get oppressive. It's just been absolutely spectacular here. So, to Fiddler's Poorhouse for letting us take up this time, it's been super. Kevin, I guess we're going to put a wrap on this thing. And thank you for setting up. He was here all hours of the night while his wife was home looking after the children. Mrs. Jack, we apologize for that.
Thank you. I'll tell you, Lee, since I've been a married man and a married man with a family, it finally dawned upon me why when you see people accepting awards, the first people they thank are their better halves.
Yeah.
And trust me, thank you so much to my wife, Leanne. There's no way that I could do what I do without your undivided support. So
yeah, the number of hours that go into it are
it's a team effort.
Amazing.
It really is a team effort. But I got a partner in crime, and it's fantastic.
And again, we will close by thanking our team. WeeStreem Niagara is the umbrella. This show with me, Lee, the 411, is the program. Gales Gas Bars Limited is our title sponsor, so they are basically fueling this program as they have fueled Niagara for so many years. And of course, WeeStreem with Kevin at the helm, and Fiddler's Poorhouse. The whole collective deserves a thank you. So we do thank you, and we'll see you in a week. Kevin. Have a wonderful first weekend of summer. We'll catch you Monday.
Thank you. You as well, Lee.